In today's episode, I'm talking about what we need to do when we're feeling completely overwhelmed and out of control. The technique that's going to get you from where you are to getting you less helpless and more empowered.
This is how legends are made.
Hi there, my name is Ben Jackson and welcome to today's episode of The Daily J. I hope you're doing amazing wherever you are. And today I want to talk about when we're overwhelmed with situations that we feel we're out of control of, like everything's kind of rushing past us really quickly and we feel, powerless or disempowered. So the scenario is when you feel that you're out of control. This can be kind of a one-to-one, it could be in a work environment, but when it's all rushing at you and you feel you don't have a handle on it, there is a way we can cope with that. And that's what I want to share with you today. And it's about finding things that we can control. This out of control sensation really comes from obviously people, situations, work, whatever it may be, and we can just feel sometimes like the victim of that, the victim of their decisions. Those are the things you can't control. But what could you do that would give you some sort of, maybe not control is the right word, but give you some sort of entry point to this? You can actually determine some boundaries or barriers regarding it. An example, maybe it's more of a work example, maybe you get the theme of it anyway, is that you are waiting on a number of people to deliver some work for you. 3 or 4 people where you need this stuff to happen so you can then action your part of your workload. And it's really important and deadlines are approaching and you are powerless in a way. So what could we do? Well, we can email these people and say you need the work by a certain time, a certain day. You can actually create a deadline. That's one half of it, and you can actually put a consequence on the end of that, saying if the work's not here, then you're going to go and do something else, or you're going to pursue another option, whatever it may be. So we are allowing other people to carry on with what they're doing their own way, but we are putting some conditions in that we would like met. And when we apply those conditions, it at least puts us in some degree of influence, which is a better position than feeling out of control. So when we're feeling out of control and things are happening around us, find things that you can do, things that you can say, well, I'm going to actually put some barriers or boundaries around the conditions that I would like met so that I feel that we can move forward on certain things. And I think it's really true that when you get that sense of overwhelm where we feel that everything's kind of coming at us, that we need to find ways that we can put control back in, things that can actually say, right, I understand there's so many things I can't control, but what I can do is put this condition in place, that this has to be met. Now I think this can apply in just about any situation, whatever kind of communication you're having, say with a partner, a friend or a work colleague. There's ways of actually putting in these conditions, these barriers in place so that you can feel you're empowered in some form. And then that also empowers the other person to know where you stand and then they can respond in a certain way. So what I want you to take away from this is that when you're in a situation like this, when you're feeling that everything's happening around you and you can't control much, find something you can do within that environment. Set conditions or boundaries or barriers so you can say, okay, that situation is understandable, but what I'm going to do in a way to respond to it is put these conditions around it so that I feel that I am less of a victim and more in control, more able to determine what I'm going to respond to, what I'm going to go and do. And the reason I share is because it's really easy to get into the mindset that we are helpless, that when things around us are out of our control, we have to simply sit there and take it. We have to be the victim of it. When we are in those moments, we can just take a step out, a breath for a moment, say, actually, wait a minute, what can I do? What could I do to influence this so I feel less kind of helpless or out of control of it? So for today's episode, I'll give you that. And if you have enjoyed today's episode, please give it a like, drop me a comment. We'd love to hear from you. But other than that, I'll catch you on the next episode.
This is how legends are made.